So I recently heard the commencement speech that Jerry Seinfeld had recently. I know it's a little controversial, but what I'm focusing on is the thing that he said about not chasing passion, but chasing fascination. Now, I get it. I do. I get it. I see really the benefit in both. I have built my career on chasing my passion, on getting what it is that I want out of my career. I also see his point in really looking at the fascination part because that's what's really going to drive and motivate you. So I think either way, it's a win-win because if you're chasing passion or fascination, you're actually going to be really making a life following that are more aligned with your values, which I am all about, if you know me. And so I wanted to hop on here today because I just got back from this amazing trip in Vermont where I was co-hosting a press event weekend for the newly called Sparkle on the Rocks. And it's this beautiful farmhouse on acres and acres of farmland that has been converted into like an art experience. And I know the creator, her name is Stacy Harshman, and it's an offshoot of what she's already created across the street, which is called the Sparkle Barn. And so why I'm telling you this is because I was so inspired by the 7 journalists that came for the weekend. These were all women, and they're working for different publications in Vermont. So we brought them here to really create an experience for them so that they would be, incentivized to write an article so that it's going to get more press so that more people are going to know about it. So also, the important thing that I want to emphasize here is that all of these women have created careers around their passion, which is writing and traveling. And so there's a few different ways that you can slice and dice combining your career with your passions. So one who was working for Happy Vermont, which is such a cool name. She's a full-time journalist and she's been working with them forever. And she gets to go around to different places in Vermont, like Sparkle on the Rocks, and write about these unique things happening in Vermont. There was another journalist who is a tech writer by day because that really pays the bills. Like tech writing is pretty lucrative. And on her weekends and nights, she has her own travel blog. So she was there representing her blog. So that's one way of having a full-time job and then having your passion project / side hustle because she is making money through advertising. Um, and also I wanted to share about Stacy, who I just mentioned, who she created the Sparkle Barn. So I met her in New York and she's such a creative. She used to import rugs and sell them on Craigslist. She's very inventive in how she makes a living. She's very unconventional. And she moved to Vermont. She found this beautiful house with a barn. And she had this vision of creating this store. It's a magical store. And so she's really created a destination. And so 4 years later, this is when she bought the house, which is called Sparkle on the Rocks now. So that's another way of her combining her skills and her passions and making a living. Now, Marcy, who is the PR person that put this all together, who I was helping out, she started her career early in her 20s in PR. She shortly went after having a full-time gig working on her own, and her passion was fashion. So she was creating her PR agency around her passions of fashion. And as she evolved in life, her interests changed and she switched over to health and wellness. And so now those are the people that she's choosing to do PR for. So there's so many different ways of turning your passions into a career. And so I just wanted to inspire you to really start thinking about what are the passions? What are your passions? Or what are your fascinations, as Jerry Seinfeld says? Like I said, either way, it's going to lead you to a life that is aligned with your passion. I mean, with your passions, yes, and your values. And that's really the ultimate, where we can combine passions, fascination, skills, and purpose. And that's really how I help my clients. I love getting them to the point where we really are creating that career that is in alignment with all of this. And I'm always seeing our career as chapters, not really a destination. So it's like, what is that next chapter that's really going to inspire you? That's really going to drive and motivate you. So that's really my passion in helping you. And if you're curious about any of this and how you can mix your skills and your passions, your fascination, your values, I invite you to, reach out for a quick call and we can, brainstorm some ideas and maybe how I could support you turning your dream into a reality. And I'm going to link that below this video. And I hope to connect with you soon. And I just want to leave you with this, like, really think about that passion that you have, think about the skill set that you have, and brainstorm a little bit. That's where the magic is.